And welcome to Cooking with Nick, the cooking class that will show you how to prepare a quick and healthy four-course dinner in a short amount of time. There's nothing more important than eating dinner with your family as often as possible. With a little preparation and some quick tips from me, you will always have time to make dinner for your family. So if we're all ready to cook, let's get started on our meal for today. Okay, this is the second in our series of this first fall group of three. What we're going to do tonight, I'm going to show you how to make pasta fazool, which is an Italian soup. Pasta fazool basically means pasta and beans. Okay, so that's basically what that is. I figure it's getting cold. It's going to be nice to have some soup. Our entree is a chicken Caesar tetrazzini, which is real easy, has about 6 ingredients. Okay, real quick, one pan, throw it in the oven, and you're ready to go. For our salad, I'm going to do a fennel. If you've never had fennel, how many people have never had fennel? You ever had it? Okay, I'll show you what that looks like and how to slice it and prepare it. Fennel has it tastes like anise. It's got like a little licorice taste. We're going to mix that with some fresh oranges slices, some red onion. We're going to serve it over some field greens with citrus vinaigrette. Okay, it's a unique kind of taste, but it's a delicious salad, very easy to make. And I think you're going to like that. So it's going to be your number one salad. And for dessert, what we're going to do, I'm going to make some amaretti stuffed peaches. And we're going to have that along with some ice cream. So, you know me and ice cream. Okay? So the amaretti I'll show you what they are. They're like little cookies that are made with egg whites and amaretto and almond flavoring and almonds. Okay? And they're very, very light. Okay? When we get to that portion of it, I'm going to have you each taste one. I brought enough everybody to taste the cookies before I start cooking with them, so you'll know what you're using. The only place I've really found them around here is at Brigida's. Okay, amaretti cookies. You could use another almond flavored cookie in the same dessert if you wanted to. Okay, so you can do that. Okay, so the first thing I'm going to get going is the salad. The soup, the pasta fazool. Because what's going to happen? The dinner, the entree takes about 20-25 minutes to cook. The peaches are going to take about 20 minutes to cook. So I'm going to get the soup going. So the first thing you're going to be eating is soup and salad. Okay, and then by that time we're done with that, then the entree should be done, and then we'll be ready for dessert. Okay? So let me get my pot going here. And basically we're going to start this soup very similar to the way we started the soup last week with carrots, onions, celery. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in the bottom of the pot, just to coat the bottom. You don't really want a whole lot of oil because you don't want the soup to be greasy. Okay, so just kind of spread that around. I have that going. And I have my vegetables in here. And I cleaned these up before I came, so I have some celery, carrots, onion. Okay, and I already got the onions chopped. Okay, so you're going to cut it in, it doesn't have to be real teeny little pieces. You don't have to mince it, okay? Because when you eat the soup, I like to see the vegetables in the soup. So get that going. Everything into the pot. This soup takes, you'll see how quick it is to make, and it makes enough for if you double the recipe, you'll have enough for about 600 people. So, it's like, soup, how it grows. It keeps growing when you make soup. Okay, so I'm going to cut up the celery. And again, I know it says like 2 stalks or something in there, but this was the end of the package. So I just cleaned it all up and packed it up. So we'll have a little more celery in there. But this is the soup that's a good way to clean out your refrigerator on Sunday before you go shopping. So you can get everything in there. I had a little bit of spinach left in the freezer, so I'm going to throw some spinach in at the end also. So make it a little heartier. Okay, that in. Okay, get my carrot chopped up. And, you know, it depends on how big the carrots are. This one was fairly good size, so I'm just going to chop it all up and throw it in. And you really don't want these to get mushy when you cook them. You just want them to get a little bit of color on them because they're going to cook in the soup, okay? So as they're sitting in that soup, you don't want them to get really mushy. So just watch them as you're cooking them. Again, if you're working with carrots, make sure you cut in half, put the flat side down. Don't try to cut it with the rolling side, the round side, because it'll roll all over your cutting board. So, okay. That's going to go in. Okay, who can tell me what's going to go in next? What are the 4 things that are going to start the soup? Hello, garlic. And put a couple of cloves of garlic in there. Give that a stir. I'm going to add, again, this is salt and pepper combination, okay, so that I always use. I'm going to add a little bit to this. What's going to happen, the salt draws the moisture out, and it'll make it start to cook faster, okay? The only time you don't want to do that is when you're doing mushrooms. Okay, when you're sauteing mushrooms, do not add salt because what will happen, it draws the moisture out of the mushrooms and the mushrooms will steam and they will never ever get brown. Okay, they'll just steam. So just make sure you don't put that in there until the end when the mushrooms are cooked, have a little color on them, then you add salt. Okay, pop open this garlic. Again, remember if you like to taste the garlic but you don't want the garlic in there, just put the whole clove in and then at the end when you're done, fish the clove out. You'll have the garlic taste, but not the garlic. But, of course, nobody in this room likes, you know, that's not going to affect you, right? Okay, good, because I'm chopping it and I'm throwing it in. So, okay. This always wakes you up, you know, when you're cooking and you throw the garlic in and somebody comes in and goes, whoa, you know, so always makes your house smell good, too. I have people come to my house to go, oh, this always smells like my grandmother's house. You know, okay. As long as I don't smell like your grandmother, I guess I'm okay, but you know. Okay, so we got that in. Okay, so we basically have a piece of garlic flew out. We have that, it has some nice color on it. So I'm going to do now, I have a can of, this is regular pasta sauce that you could buy, whatever your favorite brand is. Okay, so I'm just going to add that. And here I have, this is a small can of crushed tomatoes. Okay, so I'm just going to put the tomatoes in. That's going to give it a little bit of texture, other than just the plain sauce. Okay, we're splattering all over the place, but that's okay. I'm going to add some chicken stock, and this is just regular chicken stock. I mean, if you have your own, if you make it, that's fine. So we're going to add about 3 or 4 cups of this. Because again, it's soup. Okay, it's not a stew, it has soup. Okay. Actually, I'm going to put it all in, because what am I going to do with it? So. Okay. So we got that in.
Is that in place of the water?
No, I'm going to add some water to it. I'm going to add water because I think it has.
Doesn't say chicken stock on it.
Doesn't it have? Has 3 cups of water, and then. Okay, yeah, I guess I put that in instead of the water, but that's okay. That'll work.
Okay, how much chicken stock is it in?
I put one of those little packages in of chicken stock.
I think it's about a quart.
About a quart, what is it? 32 ounces. Okay. Just splattered all over the place.
Either or, the water or the chicken stock, or both?
I added a little bit of both. I just added a little bit of water. It depends on how thick that's going to be, you know. So you look, because you want it to be soupy. You don't want it to be like a stew. Okay. So we're going to bring that up. me just rinse that out a little bit. Okay, so we got that going. Again, I'm going to put in a little salt because that stock that I used was very low sodium. So again, we're just going to add just a little bit. You want to season as you go along, okay? Don't do all the seasoning at one time because if you add too much of something, you can't take it out. You could always add to it. Okay, so get that going. Okay, so we're going to let that come up to a simmer, which shouldn't take too long. And we're going to start the dessert. I'm going to start working with the peaches. Okay, let me wipe this down. So you're going to have to flip to the back because I want to get those in the oven so they get nice and soft. Okay, let me get all my stuff to that. When the soup comes up to boil, what we're going to add the beans. We're going to add spinach, and instead of ditalini pasta, I have little shells that I'm getting at the end. Again, these are par cooked. Remember, if you're going to use pasta during the week and you have some extra time, cook it about 3 or 4 minutes less than it says on the package. Put it in a bag like this with a little bit of olive oil, and it'll stay in your refrigerator for 4 or 5 days. Okay, so when you're ready to use it, all you have to do is heat it up and finish cooking it. So you throw it in some boiling water, so you're all set. So we're going to use that. Saves you a lot of time. I'm going to throw in a little bit of heat. Okay, just a little bit. That's already coming up to a simmer. Okay, and the reason you put the beans and stuff in at the end is because you don't want the beans to get really mushy. They'll maintain that consistency. And I'm going to use, you can use any kind of white bean you like. I'm going to use northern white beans. You can use cannellini beans. You could use whatever you like. You know, chickpeas, if you wanted to put chickpeas in there, you could use that. Okay, so that would work also. Okay, make a little room here. Okay. You could make this recipe using canned peaches if you want. If you use canned peaches, you have to cut the time of baking them in half. Okay, so you make yourself a note of that. If you can't find fresh peaches and don't want to go through all that, then that's fine. Okay. Let me get everything out here. Okay, I found fresh peaches and they look pretty good. So I'm going to take the peaches out of the bag. We're going to cut them in half, take the pit out. And basically what we're going to do is we're going to cut them out, we're going to scoop them out. We're going to mix some other stuff in with the filling. And then we're going to stuff them back into the peaches, and we're going to put some amaretto and some white wine on them, and then we're going to bake them. And then we're going to serve them with some nice ice cream. Okay? So let me get the peaches. I'm going to put them in this pan here. Okay. Let me get those out. I'm just going to line them up in the pan first, and then when I get all the pits out, then I'm going to scoop some of the flesh out because we're going to use that for part of the filling. Plus, we need to have a little room for the filling. But if you use canned peaches, then you skip the step. You don't have to do this part. Okay. So you'll just have to watch me do this. Okay. Unfortunately, we can't go to commercials, so we're just. You could use, if you wanted to, and you don't like peaches, you could do the same recipe with pears. Okay, you can use canned pears. Take half a pear, just like you would a half a peach. Yeah, make sure you get those. Don't get the peaches at a slice because they're hard to stuff. Okay, but I always, sometimes I have to be really careful what I say because people will go, "Well, I bought those sliced peaches. It didn't work." Okay, so I got to get this pit out. Just be careful when you're doing this that you don't. The riper the peaches, the easier it is to get that pit out. So, but we're doing okay. I'm going to do 12 of these. Remember, you get 2 halves. So, if you're looking to serve 6 people, you only need 3 peaches. Okay, so just that. So I know we have 9 people in class tonight, and then we have Chuck, so that's 10, and myself is 11, so somebody's going to get 2. Yeah, I wonder who that's going to be. Actually, I have extra. We're going to do more than that, so we'll have a couple of them left over. Okay, the filling for this is very, very simple. Okay, let me get this out of the way. What you want to do is take a melon baller, okay, and we want to just scoop a little bit of it out, just to make like a little hole in there, okay? So you have some place to put a little bit of the filling, okay? Don't take out a whole lot because you don't want a big hole in there, you just want a little bit. You could do this way ahead of time, leave them in your refrigerator, and then when you're ready to bake them, just leave them in your refrigerator covered with plastic wrap, and then, okay, our soup is on its way. I got to start adding some ingredients. Okay. Or if you have, your husband sitting around watching the football game or something, have him do this part. Otherwise, don't feed him. Just this is your job, or your kids can do this part, because the melon baller it's not sharp. I mean, they're not going to get hurt on it, and it's always kind of fun to have them do that part. Or you can just save yourself all the trouble and buy them in the peaches in a can, which is, I know what you're going to do. But I just wanted to show you that you can do it this way. Okay, we have those all filled out. Now we're going to make the filling, and these are the amaretti cookies. Okay, so I'm going to go real quick. I want you to taste these. So Peg, you want to just pass these around and everybody take one and just try them so you know what they taste like before we start using them. And I'm going to come in here and I'm going to start mashing the peaches. In the meantime, I'm going to add the rest of the ingredients to our soup, okay? Because this is just about ready. It's coming. Can you see up there in the mirror where it's really, really nicely boiling? Okay? So I'm going to put the beans in. All I did was I drained these a little bit. I didn't put it into a strainer. I just drained them a little bit because you want some of that little liquid in there because it's going to make it a little thicker. Okay? So I'm going to throw that in there. Okay, so we have our beans in there. And I'm going to put in the spinach. This is regular spinach that was in the freezer. And I took it out right before I came to class. So we're just going to throw that in there. It just gives it a nice little color and it gives it a little more texture. If you can put in escarole, you could put in any kind of green, dandelion greens, mustard green, any kind of greens you want. Okay. Okay, so get that going. And I have pasta, which is pre-cooked. It's only going to take about 3 minutes to finish cooking. So we're going to put that in. Give that a stir. And we're going to add some Parmesan cheese to this. A little bit of Parmesan cheese. So that's why it wasn't so heavy with the salt. Okay, so we're going to add a little bit of that. And then if you want, as you serve yourself, you can sprinkle some Parmesan cheese on top. Okay? So that soup's done. That soup is basically done. All we're going to do is wait for it to heat up and come to temperature in about 3 minutes and get the pasta finished cooking and get that cleaned up a little bit. And to finish the peaches, get it. Okay, I'm going to mash. Woo. Get some of the peach. I'm just going to use my hands, okay? What I'm doing is I'm smashing up the inside of those peaches that we took out, okay? And they're actually kind of hard, so I think I'm going to... Well, that one's not going in. Neither is that one. Okay, that's not going to work either. These peaches are really hard, so I'm just going to break them with the knife, I guess. No, that's not going to work either. Well, we'll just get them as small as we can, because they're going to cook. Okay. It's easier if the peaches are softer. Okay. If you're doing this and you're using the canned peaches, save a couple of the peaches so you can chop them up, okay, for the filling. So don't use all the ones that are in the can. You need some for the filling. Okay. So we got that. My hands are rinsed. Now we're going to add the rest of the stuff to this. Okay, I have some butter in here. And I know you can just throw it all in a bowl. If you want to put it in your food processor, you can just do that. Just throw it in there and mix everything together. Okay, so I got that in there. And add some brown sugar. Powdered sugar. Just to sweeten it up. Do that. Okay, I'm going to add just the egg yolk. You want just the yolk to go in there. Okay. Take the egg and just go back and forth. The egg yolk is going to act as a little binder to help hold all of the ingredients together. Okay, so we have a little bit of that. And here I have some amaretto. Okay. Again, if you don't have amaretto, you can use a little bit of water with a little bit of vanilla and mix it with a little bit of water. You can do that. Okay. A little bit of that. I'm not going to put it all in because we need some. We're going to mix this and we're going to make a juice that's going to go in there. Okay, so we have that. I have the amaretto cookies. Everybody, how'd you like those? They're good, aren't they? Okay, so we're going to crush them. And you just have to get something to, you can use a pan or a rolling pin or your shoe, whatever you have, you know. You want to get them nice little crumbs because we're going to mix them in here. And always just leave it in a bag. It's easier to just leave them in a little baggie like this. And okay, got that done. I'm just going to throw it in here. Okay, and that's basically our filling for this. Some of that out of the way. Okay, and just going to start mixing it. Remember, we have that butter in there, so you want to make sure that you get the egg and the butter incorporated in there pretty well. Okay, and again, I'm going to use my hand. So it's going to look like coarse granola when you're done, or if you got the fruit really fine, it would look like wet sand. That's basically what it would look like. Okay. The egg is going to solidify a little bit when it's in there, and the butter is going to make it sweet and creamy, and it's going to be delicious when we do it. So then we're just going to fill the peaches up. Okay, just pop it in there. And I have a little rack in this pan just to hold the peaches up a little bit because we're going to put some liquid in there. And I want to make sure that the bottom of the peaches get some of the steam and cook a little bit. Okay. So just make sure you go through, try to divide it up, as evenly as you can. If you like wine, one thing you can do with fresh peaches is take the fresh peaches, take some red wine, take the fresh peaches, slice them up, and let them macerate in the red wine. Okay? You could add a little bit of sugar, like about a half a cup of sugar to the red wine to sweeten it up a little bit. Let the peaches macerate in that, and then you get a nice little syrup, and you could serve it over vanilla ice cream. Okay? If you like red wine. If you don't like red wine, then that's certainly not going to work for you. But you could soak them in bourbon if you want. Okay, so what I have in here, I have some white wine in here, and the rest of the amaretto. So what I'm going to do is mix these two. Okay, just to give it some flavor, then I'm going to drink it. No, I'm just going to drizzle it over the peaches. And just let the rest of it go down into the bottom, because it'll make a nice little steam bath for it. Okay, got that going. Okay, I'm going to stick them in the oven, and they're going to bake for about 20 minutes or so. And I'm going to put them over here. Get that going. Okay, and I think our soup is ready. Okay, the only way to tell if that's any good is to try it. Come on up here.
Too hot when I
It's too hot? Come on, Audrey, give us a little taste. See if it's got enough salt and stuff in it. There you go.
have tender lovely lips.
Ooh, that is hot.
Enough salt?
Very good, yes.
Okay.
There is.
Okay, just pop that in the sink. You're all set.
Thank you.
Okay, so what I'm going to turn that off because the soup is ready. So that took very little time. What we're going to do now is we're going to take a break. You're going to have your soup, and then when we come back, we'll start the salad, and then you'll have salad. And I'm going to get I'm going to do the entree decks and get that in the oven for you. Okay, and then we'll go from there. Okay. So I'm going to move the soup over to the serving area. Get a ladle. Again, if you look at the pot, you'll realize how much this makes. I mean, it makes a lot of soup. Bowls are there, spoons are there. I'll put the cheese over there for you. This is where everybody gets up. Here you go. I'm going to get stuff ready for the entree. Get that out of the way and get that in the oven. Now I'll make the salad, which takes little no time. So you'll have soup, then you'll have salad, then you'll have the entree. Okay, we're going to do our entree now. How was the soup? Was it good? Everybody like that soup? Very simple, very easy. Again, that'll keep in your refrigerator, for 4 or 5 days. Just put it in there. I wouldn't freeze it. You could freeze it before you put the pasta in. Okay? But don't freeze it with the pasta in it. Okay? What you can do is have that soup in your refrigerator, have it ready to go, have the pasta on the side, and then when you're ready to just mix it together. Okay? So you throw in a little bit at a time. Okay? So our entree, what we're going to do is chicken Caesar tetrazzini, and this is a very, very easy recipe. Everything goes in one bowl, one pot, one pan. Okay? So I have about a pound of spaghetti, thin spaghetti that I pre-cooked again, so 3 or 4 minutes short of being totally cooked because we're going to bake it. Okay, so I'm throwing that in our pan, just loosen it up a little bit. And again, this for 1 pound of spaghetti, you're going to get a lot. You're going to get a nice big casserole-sized dish like this. Okay, So if you have a nice fancy casserole, you could use that. Okay, I'm just going to give this a quick spray, just so when all you people leave and I'm cleaning up, it's a little bit easier for me. Okay, so just give that a quick spray. Okay, so all we're going to do is just start throwing stuff in here. This is about 3 cups of chicken. You could, if you have leftover chicken, just shred it, or, go get a roast chicken. Usually if you have that, you always have some left over. Just shred it, put it in a container like this or a baggie, and you just stick it in your freezer. Okay, so then you have, 3 cups. I always measure it out like 2 4 cups at a time. So you have that available if you want to make something. So that just goes in there. Make sure we get it all out. And when I shred it, people get the 2 forks and go like this. So just rip it apart with your hands. It's much easier. Okay, so we're going to get that mixed in. I'm going to add a couple of cups of chicken stock. And I used all the stock in the other thing, so I just made some stock here with the little bouillon cubes. Okay, so that's perfectly fine. So just going to throw that in. Get about 2 cups. Just give it, because again, it's going to bake, so you want it to. Okay. Get that in there. And it's going to use some roasted red pepper, but these little pimentos, that's what they are. It's roasted red pepper. So that's basically what you can do. Just drain off the liquid a little bit. If you have roasted peppers in your refrigerator that you want to chop up, fine. If not, just go get this little jar. It's 4 ounces. So that's basically what you need. And this gives it a nice little color. Just pop that in there. Give my hands a rinse. Okay, so we have that in there. Going to add mushrooms. And what I have here is I have a combination of Baby Bella, which are the small, they're basically small portobello mushrooms. So I have some of those and some white mushrooms. And I bought them sliced already. So those are going in. And they're not cooked or anything. Just throw them in raw because we're going to cook them. Okay, going to put in about a cup of Parmesan cheese. Okay, you don't have to really put, a whole lot because we're going to add creamy garlic Caesar dressing. Just any kind of Caesar dressing. Just go buy it. And you need 2 cups, this is 16 ounces. So you have 2 cups right here. So it's basically the whole thing. Okay, I'm going to throw that in. And this Caesar dressing has a very garlicky taste. So it has garlic in it. It has anchovies. It has everything's already in there. So it just gives it a nice little twist. We're just going to throw that in. And most people would never think of using salad dressing to bake something, but when you taste it, it has a very unique, delicious taste. It's really good. Okay, so we got that in there. Mix that up. Just toss it all together. If you don't want to use spaghetti, you can use linguine. You could use ziti. You can use whatever kind of pasta you want. Just make sure that it gets all coated. Okay. Into the pan. Ooh. Got a bigger pan. Okay. Just going to spread that out in there. Again, this is only a pound of spaghetti, so it makes a lot. So you can cut that recipe in half if you have a small family or small eaters. Okay. Got that going. I'm going to take some breadcrumbs. This is just regular seasoned breadcrumbs. Move this out of the way. I'm going to mix it with some Parmesan cheese. We're going to sprinkle this over the top so we get a nice little crust on top. Okay. So I got that in there. And I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil in here. I know it doesn't have it in there, but the olive oil will give it a nice little crust. Just put it in your little container. Mix it up. Okay, I'm going to sprinkle that on top. Okay, we're all set. Now I'm going to drizzle a little bit of olive oil over the top, or you could dot it with butter if you wanted to do that. Okay. I'm just going to quickly cover this with a piece of foil. Then we're going to take the foil off, and then we're going to stick it under the broiler in about 15 minutes or so, and then it's going to get that nice little bubbly crust on top. So just cover it with foil so it heats up really quickly. That's it, into the oven. Okay, so the entree is all made. Okay, now we're going to make salad. So now you're going to have, we'll get the salad done. Let me just wipe this up a little bit. Got to make sure your work area is clean. Again, the salad is going to be orange, fennel, red onion, and it's going to be an unusual salad, but I think you're really going to like it. Okay. That over there. Let me get salad stuff. Okay, I have, this is a combination of spinach, arugula, and radicchio. So it's just a little, you can get field greens, you can get, whatever kind of salad greens you like. I like the combination of the spinach, and I don't like the frisee and that kind of stuff. I always tell my wife she's make me eat weeds. I just don't like that curly stuff. But this has the arugula. The radicchio is red. It looks like a little bit like a little, what do you call that? Red cabbage. It looks like red cabbage. Okay? So you just throw those in there, and then we're going to just start adding stuff to this. Okay, have red onion. And I'm going to try and get the slices fairly thin. We're probably going to use about half of this. Okay, this is fairly large. Okay, get that. And try and get the slices fairly thin. If you have a mandolin and you like to use that, go right ahead. I don't like using all those little gadgets because then you have to clean them. To me, that's the worst part. I have them all, but I don't really like to use them. Okay, so we're just going to crunch it so that it comes apart. If you wanted to make it really fancy, just leave it whole, slice it, and you get the nice big rings. The red onion is a little bit sweeter than the yellow onion. Okay. So we got that in there. I'm going to show you with the fennel. I wanted to, when you buy fennel, this is just the bulb, but this is what it looks like when you buy it. Okay. It's got this big thing on it. Okay, you could use this like for garnish or whatever, but you're really interested in the bulb part of it. Okay, so I have one here that I cut off the top, and that's basically all that you get out of it. So let me just give this a rinse. You could use the little fronds for a decoration. They have a little bit of a taste, but some of this so you could see. Okay, so basically what you want to do is cut that part off and the bottom. Okay, then you want to take off the big outside part because sometimes it's bruised and you really don't want that part. But again, this has a licoricey taste to it if you've never had it. You could make fennel au gratin. You could bake it with a little bit of white wine, a little salt and pepper, and have a nice little side dish. So when you try this tonight and you like it, contact me. There's different ways you can cook this. Okay. So we have a little bit of the tartness from the greens. And then we have, I'm going to put this other bulb in here too. So some of you can have a little centerpiece. I'll put that over there so when you're dining, you have a little centerpiece. You get a little Christmas decoration. You make a wreath. Okay, give that a rinse. Get the bottom off. And again, I'm going to go and try to get nice thin slices. And this stays pretty crunchy. It's a nice little crunchy. It has the texture of like eating celery. You know, it has that crunchy taste like that. And you could eat it raw just like this. I mean, it's just... Okay, so we got that in there. I'm going to add oranges. I'm going to add some orange to this. And I'm going to peel it. And if you didn't want to go through all of this with a regular orange, you could use canned oranges. You could use mandarin oranges if you wanted to. Okay, I'm just going to take the skin off. And just make nice slices. So this has a whole lot of different kind of flavors going on in this salad. It's very refreshing. It's a nice summer salad or just something different. Okay? And I'm just going to go through and make slices. Okay? And I'm just going to cut those in half. Just so when you go to eat, you don't have to fight over who's going to get the oranges in here, you know, so. Just throw that in. Okay, I have one more. The dressing, I'm going to use lemons for the dressing. So you're going to have the oranges in it, and you're going to have a lemon dressing. And you want to make sure you get a navel orange because you don't want the one with seeds in it. You know, you don't want to be eating the salad and chomping on seeds. Okay. Just get all that pith off because that pith is very bitter. It always amazes me when you buy those navel oranges and you take the skin off. They look this big. You take it off and it's like this big, you know. So yeah. Again, I'm going to chop that up. Oh, this one has seeds. What is this? Must have been in the wrong bin. Not too many, just a couple. I think when you watch some of the cooking shows that they peel the orange and they go in between, you know, the little veins on it and take all the little thing. Get out of here. Just throw it in there and eat it. You know, I don't. Well, if you want to do that, you have fun. Okay, just going to get some of these pieces, get a little smaller. That's again like when I told you the last time, like when they talk about whisking the salad dressing and, you know, whisk it, whisk, whisk. I just throw everything in a jar and that's it. It's all done. Just like I'm going to do in about 2 minutes. Okay, let me get this picked up. So that's basically all the ingredients in our salad. And we show you how to make the dressing. Okay, so we got that. Then add just a little bit of salt and pepper, not too much. Okay. And you could put, when we garnish it, I know it says you could use walnuts in there. I'm going to use pecans, okay, just because I like them better than walnuts. So we're going to sprinkle that on top as a garnish. So you have all kinds of textures in this salad. I'm really interested to see how you like it. So. And I want you to be very honest about it. Not that you haven't been, but... Okay, let me get my zester. And I need a container. I'm going to take the lemons and I'm going to zest them, and I'm going to zest them right in this thing here, because then I'm going to make the dressing right in this little container. Okay? So we're going to zest and juice the lemon. And again, this is a microplane that I'm using, and it really works well to get most of the zest out. And you could find them pretty much in any store. Basically, all that this is lemon juice and olive oil, a little salt and pepper. Okay, make sure that you take your finger and go down and get all of the zest off the back. Okay, get that done. I'm going to juice the lemons. And again, what you want to do is take them, if they're hard, or you could put them in the microwave for 10 seconds, and that gets it heated up inside, and the juices start really running. Okay, you can just roll them. Okay, let me see if I could squirt Joy and Arlene. Okay. Okay, a little bit of juice. I got seeds in there. Let me get those out. If you do that, the seed goes back in again. If you hold it up like this and try and squeeze it, most of the time the seeds will stay in. You know, but then I always end up getting the juice all over the place, so I'll try it. We'll just use a strainer. Okay, get this in. Ooh, a lot of juice in that one. If you wanted to, you could make the same dressing with orange juice, if you wanted to. Okay? Any kind of citrus. It just replaces the vinegar, so you don't have the vinegar in here. And this is going to be kind of like a little sweet and salad dressing. Sweet and sour. It's a little bit of sweet and sour. Okay? So we have that. I'm going to add a little bit of salt and pepper. And some olive oil. Again, when you're making a vinaigrette, it's like 2 to 1. 2 olive oil to 1 of whatever the acid is you're using. Okay, so we get that. Put the lid on, whisk it. Okay. And then just pour it over your salad. Again, you could make this all way ahead of time and just don't dress it. Okay? A secret I could give you, if you're doing a party and you have a salad that you're going to be serving, what you can do, and you want to get it ready, is put the dressing on the bottom of the bowl, then put your greens on top, and put everything else on top. Okay? Don't mess with it. Put it in your refrigerator, cover it up with plastic wrap. Then when you're ready to serve it, then just toss it. Okay? Because with the dressing on the bottom, it won't wilt the lettuce. Okay? So you have it all ready to go when your guests get there. So you don't have to stay in the kitchen and make the salad. Okay? So you'll be all set to go. Okay, so that's our salad. Our salad is done. We have desserts in the oven, entrees in the oven, which I'm going to check. Looking good. And we still have a half hour. Get a lot to eat. So I'm going to put the salad over there, and you guys can get ready to eat. When you take this out of the oven, this is what it's going to look like. Okay? It's got a nice little crust on the top. Again, make sure when you put it under the broiler that you keep an eye on it. Otherwise, the whole thing will be black. You know, you just want a little bit of a crust on top. So that's what that looks like. The peaches are just about done. So what I'm going to do is, I know you guys are still eating your salad, but I'm going to put this over. As a matter of fact, I'm going to leave it right here, and I'll bring some dishes over, and you can just serve yourself from here. Continue to get some salad. There's still more soup there. Okay, so that's it. So this is done. Our peaches are done. So I'm going to take those out, let those cool a little bit. As soon as we finish eating this, let your stomach settle a little bit, and then we'll have dessert. So this whole meal can be made in well under 40 minutes because it's only 7:30 right now. Okay? And as my wife says, if I stop talking, I could probably cook it in 15. So we're all done. Okay? Guys ready for dessert? Okay, you had that. There's none left. I have an empty pan. So I assume that was good. There's no salad left. That's all gone. Soup. That's all gone. We're all set. Okay, ready for dessert. I'm going to take the peaches out of the oven. We have them. They're nice. They should be fairly soft at this point. You don't want them to get burnt. Okay? So what we're going to do is serve them with some ice cream. So if someone wants to come up and help a little bit, scoop ice cream. Okay, thank you. And I have some regular, just plain old French vanilla ice cream. And I took it out just a little bit sooner, so it's soft. We'll just spread out some plates, and you put the ice cream on, and I'll put the peaches on. Okay, so Vanna's going to help me here, and she's all set. Now that crust on the amaretto got like a nice little crusty. A trick if you're having a party and you're going to be serving ice cream is to take a nice big ice cream scoop, line a sheet with wax paper, a baking pan with wax paper that'll fit in your freezer. Take some nice big scoops, make little balls, and put them on the wax paper, put them in your freezer. Then when you're ready to serve your ice cream dessert, just take the little balls of ice cream right off that, throw them in the dish, and you're all set to go. Save yourself all this trouble of scooping. Okay? What do you think this is Weight Watchers? What kind of servings are those? These little servings of ice cream.
Here. Extreme to the other.
Oops, there you go. Once we get these out of here, I'm going to see if I can get a little bit of that juice on the bottom, kind of drizzle it over the top. I just have one of these plates, and I'm going to put these on here. I'm going to take these out and put them on a plate just so I could get some of the juice out. So you guys could start eating. And again, you could use pears for this. You could use, whatever kind of fruit. You could use apple. Apple, you'd have to cook quite a while. Okay, just going to see if I can grab a little bit of the juice. Because remember, this is the wine in amaretto. Okay, nah, I don't think so. Now what you can do is start coming up and get these, so we have some room up here. Peg's going to serve as our waitress. Here, let me get some juice on that one, Arlene. These three are ready. What you can do with these is if you have a nice, like a margarita glass or a big, nice, wide parfait glass, put the ice cream on the bottom, put the peach on top, and put some whipped cream on it. And, if you have some leftover amaretti cookies, you could sprinkle that on top. You can make it a little bit fancier, so, you can do it that way. Okay.
No,
You're having one too, right?
Sure. This is the only thing you'll see me eat during the demonstration is the dessert. Okay. How many more do we need? A couple more? Everybody has one? Everybody's all set? Okay. Okay, I just want to thank everybody for coming tonight. This was our second in the series of 3. And hope you enjoyed everything. All the food is gone, so I guess it was good. So hope to see most of you next week. Thank you. Well, that was our cooking plan for today. I hope those of you in class enjoyed eating the meal prepared, learned a few new cooking shortcuts, and will try these recipes at home. To those of you watching at home, I'd like to thank you for being with us and encourage you to join us in class. And remember, from my family to yours, always make time for family and friends by sharing a great meal around your kitchen table.